What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Stories Beyond the Field. I'm your host, Gabe Kalama,
I'm Hayden Kalama.
and today we are joined by.
Valentina Casab Klescova.
Thank you
I'm a
for being here,
tennis
Val.
player. Yeah.
Let's go. First tennis player on the show. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
being
much
here.
for having me.
Of course, it's our pleasure to have you on today. Let's get to some quick warm-up questions. So, for starters, when did you start playing tennis?
Oof, long time ago. I started when I was like 3, but then I like had to stop for a bit when I was 9 because I had really bad eczema on my hands, and then I started again when I was 12.
That's a pretty decent reason to take a break,
Yeah,
I would say.
kind of
Yeah,
sucked. Not
yeah,
gonna
a little
lie.
bit, a little bit. Okay, so growing up, did you ever have like a favorite player that you liked watching?
Yeah, I idolize Maria Sharapova. I don't know if you guys know who she is, but, like, I had, like, a picture of her in my room, like, a huge poster and everything. Then my whole family was, like, big Roger Federer fans.
Oh, yes.
Gotta love Rog.
He's the GOAT.
He is
He's
the GOAT.
arguably the GOAT.
Yeah, Joker fans can fight me.
Amen.
So how did you grow up and get into tennis? Because I'm sure it's not often played on TV or a sport many people look at.
I disagree. But no, my dad was a very big like tennis fan. He grew up playing tennis. My whole dad's side of the family played tennis. They were in a tennis club and everything. So naturally, they started signing me up for lessons when I was 3. And I really liked it. I was good at it. So I kind of just stuck with it. Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. When you're a kid and you get good at something, you're just like, hey, I'm pretty good at this, so I'm going to stick with it.
Stick with it. Yeah. And I didn't really get to play many other sports just because my whole family really liked tennis. So that just kind of became like my whole world for a bit, or for a
I
bit, my whole
mean,
life.
yeah, that's fair. So I also know that you've kind of grown up in a lot of different states, like, Milwaukee, Wisconsin and Texas and a bunch of other places. So what was kind of the challenges of playing in a lot of different states?
I think the hardest part is when you move somewhere, you lose that whole like network you had. Cause I was originally born in Mexico and my family, like, they, like, knew coaches, they knew friends, they knew everybody there. We had this club that they've been going to, like, their whole life. But then I moved to Texas with my mom, and it's just like you have to test out a bunch of different clubs, like, meet a bunch of different coaches, see, like, where you actually, like, click, see where if, like, it's actually a good fit for you. And I had found this one place I really liked over there. I played a lot of tournaments, I made a lot of friends. And then I moved to North Carolina for high school, and then I thought it'd be, like, easy, like, "Oh, just find a new place and I'll, like, fit in," but it was like, no, because it's just, like, first off, you don't really know where it is because there are those, like, really posh, like, tennis clubs, but they're super expensive, and there's, like, all the, like, the little super like, not super, like, summer camps and stuff, but it's, like, temporary, so I was just not really training as much, but I started playing some tournaments again, and I got to the final of one, and, like, I talked to the girl, she was really sweet, and her dad actually, like, referred us to some, like, high school coach that just did clinics after school, and I went there all the time, like, compared to most other places, it was so much more affordable. I made a lot of friends there, like, we hung out all the time. I went to Florida, that was different. I went to a tennis academy, so there was just kinda like that was all we did. And yeah, and then I went to Oregon, went to Pacific University to play tennis, but when I moved there, my parents had moved to Wisconsin. So then I had that whole challenge of, like, over the summers, I had to keep training because I had to be ready for season, but I didn't know where to go. And it felt a lot harder then because in North Carolina, like, I had my tennis team, like, they could refer me to people. Everyone was nicer, like, because 'cause we're kids, like, we talk. But here is just weird. I, like, looked up, like, tennis coaches near me, and it's, like, $150 for one-hour lessons, and it's like, well, no, that's a lot. So it was really hard to find people at first, but little by little, you start meeting people. It's a whole process. It's definitely a challenge, but it's also cool because you get to play in different parts.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Mhm.
it's always hard when you're constantly on the move because then you have to meet new people, you have to make new connections, and the more you do that, the harder it gets, but the
Yeah.
kind of the easier it is to like learn how to make friends because 'cause you're always doing it all the time.
Exactly. Another, like, challenge about it too is just different environments. Because Texas was very hot and dry. Then in North Carolina, like, I remember we played outside all the time, but one time it was just, like, there was snow around the court, and I'm like, "Well, this never would have happened." Then Florida was humid, like, after a single warm-up lap, I'd be, like, drenched in sweat. And then I went to Oregon where it was, like, all indoor courts, like, because it was
That's
raining
true.
constantly, so it's just, like, you have to, like, adapt a lot too. Same here in Wisconsin, like, in the summer, I'll play outside. I work right now at a tennis club, and it's all indoors again, and it's different. It's, like, different structures and whatnot.
So, actually, what is it like to kinda play in the elements tennis-wise? Because I know, like, football, you have, like, cleats and you're wearing a bunch of padding and stuff, so it's not I mean, it sucks, but it's not bad compared to tennis where you literally have just clothes on, so what is it like in that aspect?
I mean, yeah, I think we do have a lot more freedom with that compared to football. Like, I don't have to have a helmet or like pads or anything on. Like, if it's really hot outside, I'll just wear shorts and a tank. But say, like, when we were in Oregon, like, our courts didn't have a heating or anything. So if it was cold
True.
outside, it was cold inside. And I just remember having to wear so many layers. Like, we'd have like sweats over our shorts, like tank with a t shirt, with a long sleeve, with like a quarter zip, with a hoodie, with a puffer. And then,
Oh
like,
my
slowly
goodness.
as you're playing the match, you're, like, losing one layer at a time, and then it'd be
Yeah.
funny because it's, like, freezing outside and you just see us running around in our little tank tops, but but yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. And then other things like indoor versus outdoor tennis, like, the sun and wind make a huge difference. Because like, when you're serving, like, your toss, like, depending on the time of day, you'll get completely blinded, so it's like, you're playing
Mm.
outside, you have to practice serving in the sun, but if you're indoors, it doesn't matter.
That's actually a good point. Yeah.
Same with the wind, you have to play very different in the wind because like, you also switch sides too, so it's like, oh, if you're on this side, like, you're playing with the wind, if you're on that side, you're playing against the wind, you have to, like, change your game a bit. I'm
Mhm.
sure, like, that's relevant in football too.
More or
More
less,
You know
yeah.
more about football than I do.
I mean, it plays a part too, so that's a good point. Bringing it back though, what was kind of playing you're good, you're good. What was playing sports at, like, a boarding school academy like?
It was interesting, like, overall, it was a good experience. I went during the pandemic, so sometimes I definitely wish, like, I had more of a regular high school experience, but I think without it, I wouldn't have had, like, a high school experience at all. But it's intense. Had, like, 8 AM to no, we had fitness at 8 AM, then tennis 9 to 11, then class, then tennis again, and then class again. And it was like that, like, every day, and we had weekend like, Saturday practice, but we had Sunday off, and at first it was hard, like, once we got into a rhythm, it was like, whatever, but it's like looking back at it, like, even now, I'm like, I'll play an hour of tennis and do, like, an hour lift, and I'm exhausted. I'm like, I don't know how we did it
Yeah,
back.
for real.
It
I mean,
was
that's a
a lot.
lot.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. It was like it got tense too because everyone there was, like, very high level, so it was mentally challenging at times too, but yeah, it was cool. I got to say I went to a sports academy, so
It's definitely a good experience, and I'm sure it probably helped you prepare a lot for coming
Mhm,
here to play sports. That is quite a lot for
yeah.
a high school level sports. I can imagine it was pretty mentally and physically exhausting a lot of the time too.
Mhm. No, it was, and then, like, I don't know, I think I was pretty okay, but there was, like, some people that played, like, the junior grand slams, like, played Wimbledon juniors and everything, like, it was crazy. And it's like with them, like, the people that were that level, it'd get tense a lot, but,
Mm.
I mean, it was also cool, like, you made a lot of friends, like, we all lived together, I got to meet people from all over the world, I had friends from Japan, from Brazil, Europe, like, everywhere.
Dang, so it was, like, global.
Mhm.
That is pretty sick.
Yeah. It's fun now, I get to, like, see where everyone's, like, ending up.
Yeah. Okay. So now kinda moving away from high school, why did you choose Pacific?
Kinda random, actually. I didn't, like, think too much about college when I was in high school until, like, my last 2 years, and I was just more going off vibes. Like I mentioned earlier, it was the pandemic, so I didn't have the opportunity to really go and, like, visit or tour schools, and to be quite honest, I was, like, so over the Florida heat. I was like, "I need to go to somewhere where it's cold," and I was just, like, in my mind, like, "What seems like a cool state?" And, like, for some reason, I was like, "Oh, Oregon." Got schools in Oregon. Yeah. like, came across Pacific, they had my major, they had a team I could play at, and I was like, "That's great," like, full send. I applied to a few other schools too, but, there was, like, one school, I think they were in, I wanna say Pennsylvania, they were D2, and the coach was like, "You have to commit today," and I'm like, "Well, do you have my major?" And he's like, "What's your major?" I was like, "Environmental studies," and he's like, "We have biology, you can figure it out," and I'm like, "No," like, it was weird vibes, like, "No." But everyone I talked to from Pacific was, like, very sweet, very supportive, like, and I just went.
That's gotta be the funniest college selection story I've ever heard, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know.
But, I mean, you made it here, so that's the main thing, and especially if, like, the other coaches were like, no, we don't really have your major, but,
And they're like, "You
you can
can go
figure it
again?"
out." That's
I'm
weird.
like, as much as I do wanna play college sports, like, I'm not going just to play college sports, like, I am getting a degree and stuff too.
Yeah. You kinda need to graduate and do, like, important school stuff. Okay, so now moving into the more deeper side of what we do over here. So, did you have any, like, mental struggles with collegiate tennis?
Definitely. Definitely. I think especially, like, tennis, it's very different from other sports because even at the collegiate level, it's a team sport, like, we're still, like, a tennis team, but at the end of the day, tennis is an individual sport. And it's not like basketball or volleyball where it's like you get hurt, you get tired, you get subbed out. Like, no, like if you start a match, you finish the match. And in some ways it was nice because like you had your teammates like cheering you on. You had a coach like checking in on you. But it have like a ranking system. Cause like do you guys know how like tennis collegiate tennis scoring like works or no?
Kind of.
So it's like six singles matches and then three doubles matches, and each match is worth a point.
Mm,
Or they changed it. Now doubles is just rules. You have to win 2 doubles matches to win one. It depends. But pretty much, like, you win a match, and then whichever school wins more matches in total wins the match, if that makes
m'kay.
sense.
Yeah.
So we have a ranking system, and it's like, yes, you're a team, and you're rooting for each other on match days, but it's like at practice, you're still trying to beat each other. You're still like, even though we're at practice and it's like, yeah, we might be drilling our forehands or our serves or whatever, but we're gonna play points. And like sometimes it would get really tense. Like you are playing against someone like you think you should be winning. You're having a bad day. And it's like all that's going through your head. It's like, shoot, are they gonna lower me in the lineup this weekend because I had like one bad tiebreaker? Like. So I was always like, and like looking back at it, I worried about lineup more than I honestly should have. Because at the end of the day, like all the points are all equal to one. Like every match equals one. But it's like it's still in your head. Like maybe it's an ego thing, but it's like you want to be at the top of the lineup. You want to have a more competitive match. So it'd be like I played consistently three, but then it's like, oh, I played four one weekend. And it's like, well, why did I play four? I should have been playing three or something. And sometimes coaches do switch it around a lot for like strategy purposes, like knowing the other team or like to mix it up so that they don't expect who you're playing. But our coach was pretty like traditional, like this is our lineup, this is what it's gonna be. Like she switched it up very very weirdly. Like she mainly just kept it the same. So whenever it did change, you'd get like super in your head about it. Or at least I did. Maybe it's just a me problem. But it's like even with your teammates, it's like you're not gonna tell them like, oh, my backhand's my weakness because you get put it against each other at practice, they're gonna aim for your backhand. And it's just it's like it's weird, it's tense because even in doubles, like, you do have a partner with you. More often than not, you're gonna end up playing your doubles partner anyways at practice. So it's weird, it's different. It's different.
Yeah, for sure. Hayden, go.
I know you already spoke about this a little bit, but can you describe a time when you faced a significant mental challenge on the court and how you overcame it?
Ooh, a significant challenge. I think like most players, injuries are always really tough. I remember one time we made it to like the conference playoffs and I've had a history of like a bad shoulder injury. I had like bicep tendonitis and it would suck because like at the start of the season I can serve like rip the ball no problem. But towards the end, it's like even like moving like my shoulder this much, like it would hurt really bad. And it was, like, such an important match, like, it's the playoffs, right? Like, I wanna win this point for my team, but I can't lift my arm up, so I was, like, missing my serve constantly, I was pretty much, like, giving away all of my service games because the ball wasn't going in, and it was, like, really mentally hard. I'm pretty sure I, like, cried on court that day, I was like, "I don't know what to do, it sucked, I lost the match, I think we lost that match, like, as a school by, like, 1 point, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's my fault, it's my fault." And in reality, like, it wasn't just my fault, like, everyone else could have also won. But it definitely, like, was one of those moments where it's just like, ugh, you get really in your head about it.
So how did you kinda, like, I guess, cope with that afterwards?
I cry.
That's real. That's a real coping mechanism, yeah.
No, I mean, I'm a very social person, I'm sure Gabe knows.
Yes.
I talked to some of my teammates about it, like, I was just crying, and they're like, "Val, like, you're okay, like, it wasn't just you." Like, it was a good school, and it's like, you get in your head, it's like, "Well, maybe if I wasn't injured, I would've won," but it's like, no one really knows that, and I guess it's just like, now you just have to focus on, like, recovering so you're better for next time, and it sucks. It's not, like, a fun coping. So, just gotta be real with it.
Yeah. That's perfect actually, because that kinda leads me into my next question, like, how is team chemistry? Like, did you feel like a part of the team, or did you feel like a bit of an outcast?
Personally, I felt like a bit of an outcast. Our team was definitely a little cliquey. There was a lot of drama, and I don't know, I feel like I never, like, fully, like, had my first year, I didn't have, like, anyone I, like, totally clicked with, like, we all got along. My sophomore year, I studied abroad, I wasn't there for all of it. But then, just throughout my 4 years, like, the 2 coaches' daughters were on the team, and I love them, I respect them a lot, but it did, like, cause a lot of tension because they were, like, really good players. It's like if you, like, do better than them one day, they'll get really upset, and it became everybody's problem, and obviously, like, the coach, like, would favor her kids, even though she didn't it wasn't her intention, like, that's always how it played out, which, like, is understandable, but, like, it sucked sometimes, and sometimes I feel like people were too scared to say anything, so it was just a lot of walking on eggs I feel like I'm sharing more than I should.
You're good. It's okay. That's what this is for. That's what this is for.
But there was, like, that, just having, like, people related on a team is always gonna be hard. And then I have, like, some friends that I, like on the team, like, granted, I did make a lot of good friendships, but there's also some people where it's like, "Oh, like, you're playing against your friend." Oh, but then they, like, called a ball out when it wasn't out, and then you get mad, and it's like, "Dude, are you kidding me?" And then you're, like, really tense with each other for a couple of days, and it's just, like it's different. And maybe just, like, a little more competitive or something, like, I got in my head I'm get in my head about a lot of things, like, I got in my head about, like, a lot of interactions, and I know some people on our team, like, got along just fine, but it can definitely get tense. I definitely felt like a bit of an outcast sometimes.
For sure, and I mean, I know Noah and I can relate to that for sure because we also felt like a bit of an outcast on the football team, like you said, like, every sport has their cliques, right? Like, there's always this
Mhm,
group and this group
exactly.
and this group, and sometimes you try to fit in, but sometimes you're like, "No, you're weird," or like, "Ah, you don't
Right.
really match our vibes," so then it's just hard to really, like, build a connection with these people that you go to battle with every day.
Exactly. Or like me too, like I'm originally from Mexico. I'm not like I grew up in the US, but I'm not like I wouldn't consider myself like from the US. And
Mhm.
everyone else did. So there was like some moments where I definitely feel like there was like some cultural like clashes at times too.
Mm.
And sometimes it wasn't like because they're not saying like racism, right? That was never an issue on my team.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I remember there was like one day because they wanted us to just wear we could wear whatever, but had to be like school colors on our tennis team, and one time I wore a Mexico soccer jersey to practice, and it was, like, white with, like, say, maroon, like, an off shade of red, and they were like, "You can't wear that." But I'm just like, it's like but it's, like, my country like, I didn't see an issue with it. There was another girl from Hawaii that was wearing a blue shirt, and they didn't tell her anything, and I was like I took that really personally. I was just like, "Oh my god, they hate me. It's because of me," or, like, something like that, when it wasn't the case. Or, like, we'd have, like, song playing, and it would be, like, a Spanish song, and one time they skipped one of my Spanish songs, and I'm like, "Oh my god, they hate me." But I don't know. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's best to not think about it or dwell on it anymore, I've learned.
Speaking on that, before I get to my next question, how did you ever feel like it was kinda challenging to get used to American life, I guess?
Yeah.
That's valid. Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine. It was difficult for me going to Japan too, so in a
Oh,
way, I can relate to how you felt, for
mhm.
sure.
Well, I think it's different too, cause like, I grew up in the US, but my dad's from Mexico, my mom's from Slovakia, like, at home, we speak Spanish, like, there's different, like, stuff. And I think for the most part, it's fine, but there are moments where it's just, like it's different. Like, I don't know how to explain it, it's just different. We have different values and stuff.
Right. Yeah. And then, there's stuff like what happened at practice where you show
Um,
pride for your home country and people are like, "Why are you wearing that?" Like, it's like,
right. No,
"'Cause this is my country."
it's not red.
Yeah.
Is
It's
it really?
not red.
It's not red.
Yeah. People are weird. Anyway, back to sports. Yeah, so to bring it back to
Mhm.
tennis, it sounded like you had a similar experience with your coach that Noah and I did, and that you might have been a little bit disconnected to her. Would you say that's accurate?
Yes and no. We were a small team, so I think, like, there was, like, 8 of us. Like, I did get to know my coach did get to know me, and I genuinely do think she has really good intentions, like, she never wants to, like, hurt anybody, like, she has good intentions, she wanted to be there for us, but sometimes it just didn't always get carried out that way. Like I said, like, there would be things that came up with her daughters, like, she'd always coach her daughters a little bit more than she coached the rest of us. Or, like, I feel like she was a little more passive, which is fine, like, there's different communication styles, like, I can be passive too, but there are, like, some days where it's like you could just communicate things a little better, and just because you didn't communicate things a certain way, like, it made all of us feel kinda crappy instead.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that that parent favoritism is always gonna come out eventually.
Exactly.
Hayden, go, you have a question?
Yeah, so because of that, like, favoritism, what strategies did you use to maintain your mental focus through hard practices that followed into weekends where you had that kind of confusion in your head from, "Oh, they're focusing on this," and then you gotta step into the game, and maybe your coach isn't gonna
Yeah.
necessarily pay enough attention to you because she's focused on her daughter's attitude or something like that. So what strategies did you use to kind of block that out and just play how you wanted to play?
I think before even stepping back on the court, I would talk to some of my other teammates to see if it was just me or if they felt a similar way. And sometimes they did feel a similar way. And it's like, okay, we can kind of talk about it. And we know that we have each other's backs. Like, I know that, like, even if, because there were times where we'd get in like fights and then it'd be like them three against the rest of us. And it's like, I know I can lean on some of my other teammates, and if it was just in my head, sometimes it's just like you like, it doesn't matter, like, once you're on the court, you're on the court, and even though it's hard and it doesn't always work out, you do wanna leave all the outside factors, like, outside, um, and if I needed her attention, you just gotta go, like, until they come over, or I'd go to my teammates and it's like, "Hey, can you call coach over? Like, I need her to put on something," or so, and maybe they won't come, like, right at that changeover, but they, like, at the end of the day, they will make their way to come help you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gotta be tough every now and then. So to kind of bring it back to something you said earlier, right? You said you missed a season to study abroad. So
Yes, I did.
how did you feel about having to miss a season to study abroad?
Whew, it was hard. Okay, for more context, a little more team drama. After my freshman year, I think there was 7 of us. One girl graduated, and then
Mhm.
everyone else except me and the coach's daughters quit the team.
Wow.
Yeah. So, it was hard because then my coach was kinda, like, scrambling around, like, really trying to recruit people who weren't even, like, trying to play college tennis. It's just like, "You play tennis, join the team." So, he got a few people that joined, but I had already decided I was gonna go abroad, and it was like they had a bad season, and sometimes they'd kinda blame it on me leaving. So,
Mm,
it's like a little bit of guilt tripping. It's like, "Oh, well, Bao is gone, so, like, blah, 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 blah," and it's like, "Are you sure you should be leaving?" and stuff like that. So, it was definitely hard in that sense, but at the same time, like, I had a great time studying abroad, like, I don't regret going, and I got to play tennis in Australia. It's not like I didn't play at all, and it was a different experience, but then coming back, like, it was nice coming back. It was nice being in that team atmosphere, and sometimes I do wonder, like, what would have happened if I, like, had stayed that year, if I had gone in the fall and when it was, like, the individual season instead of the spring. But, yeah, it was really hard at first. There was some days where it was really hard with around the team, but I mean, it happened. There's nothing we could do about it now. Their season panned out the way it did.
Yeah.
Feel like just given the circumstances, even if I was there and I would have won 1 extra point, I don't know if it would have been that much better just because of the circumstances they were under, but
I think it's kinda wild that they
they all
put
quit.
everything on you, like, "Oh, well, Valen wasn't here, so that's the reason that we suck." Like,
Yeah.
it's kinda crazy to me that they didn't maybe, like, take a look in the mirror and be like, "Maybe we're just not that good." And,
They
like
definitely knew, but I think they didn't
yeah,
wanna
they needed a
reflect
scapegoat.
their actions as to why everyone quit. But then we did
Right.
recruit a lot of people the next year, and then all those people that were there my sophomore year quit, but and we had a more solid, like, team my junior and senior year.
It's all about reflections. Sometimes coaches don't wanna do that. Do. I
Mhm.
do. My next question is a little bit of a deep one. So,
Ooh.
currently, how do you feel about the state of female athletics, and what can the media do better to help female athletes shine like the males do a little bit more?
That's a good one.
Thank
I
you.
do think I do think female athletics is at a better position than it has been in the past. If we're thinking tennis specifically, I think tennis is different than most other female sports because I think we're either the only or one of the few sports where female athletes get paid the same as male athletes, like professionally.
Mhm.
And that's thanks to, like, people like Billie Jean King, Venus Williams, I'm sure you've heard those names, who've done a lot of activism and, like, spoke up about those issues, and thanks to them, like, our sport is at where it is now. But yeah, I think there definitely are places where it could improve. I think men's and women's tennis are very different. It's not just like, oh, boys versus girls. Like the style of the sport is very different. If you watch a men's tennis match, you see them like running all over the place. They're like way faster than women. They can hit the serve 200 miles an hour. Girls can't necessarily do that because of like biological differences. But it is like a different like type of game. Like men's tennis is faster, but girls tennis is a little more strategy. We have to play more the long run. And I think once people like understand it and like learn to like appreciate how women's sports are different than men's sports, it could help a little. Cause I'm sure it's like similar with like soccer and basketball. Like it is different. It is different. But like I think you just gotta appreciate those differences. And
Yeah, I think
if that answers your question.
no, it does, yeah, like, I think there's plenty of really talented female athletes out there that deserve a little bit more attention, and it's kind of a shame that they do get overshadowed by the male sports when in reality, a lot of them are just as good as the males, but I think a lot of it plays to what you said, like, people like fast-paced sports, and a lot of the times the men do play more fast and aggressive, and that's just how it is.
But not saying women can't do that.
Not at all,
We do
not at
have
all.
some crazy good points.
Indeed. Now kinda bringing it back to you, like, what was it like being a female athlete in college? Like, did you ever feel like your male teammates got more praise from coaches, or was it pretty equal?
Sure. In the college scene, I feel like tennis just on its own is one of those sports that gets more overlooked. Like if you go to a football game, the entire school's there. If you go to a tennis game, it's just like the players' friends.
True.
Or like,
Yeah.
like not too many people went and watched our matches. And when they did, it was like, oh my God, there's
Yeah.
people watching.
Yeah.
As far as, like, women's versus men's, I think that's, like, an issue both sides can relate upon, and it's not that we were bad, like, I think respectfully, like, we were one of the better, like, sports teams at our school, but no one actually came to, like, our matches. So that was always, like, a little hard. As far as compared to men's, I'm trying to think. I think that just goes back to, like, what we talked about earlier, like, it is just a different paced game, like, if you watch a guy rip the ball 200 miles an hour, you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, that's so cool. Why can't she do that?" You know? So I think,
Yeah.
like, less people have that appeal to, like, actually go watch.
Did you ever kinda struggle with that? Like, hearing that, like, around matches or whatever?
Like, which part? Sorry.
They're like, "Oh, he can hit a ball 200 miles per hour, like, why can't she do that?"
I feel like more than hearing it, it's also kind of experiencing it.
That's
Like,
fair.
sometimes we'd have fundraisers 'cause we usually didn't train with the men's team, but every now and then we'd, like, have fundraisers where it'd be, like, men's and women's tennis team together, and it's like, they definitely weren't, like, hitting the serve, like, as hard as they can when they're hitting against us, or if they did, it's just like, if we're doing doubles and I'm at the net, I see a guy, like, load up, I'm gonna, like I get a little nervous, not gonna lie, it's not the same as, like, a girl ripping the ball at me, like, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's completely fair. Next, I remember you talking a little bit about just working at a tennis club. Is that true? Yeah. So, was that kinda to just keep yourself involved in tennis after graduation?
I guess so. Yeah, after I graduated, I guess I was applying to places to work, like anything. Like I applied to like Trader Joe's and a bunch of stuff with my college diploma, you know? I just wasn't hearing back from any places. I think it's just like the situation of the job market right now. But then this one guy I played tennis with here was like, "Oh, have you heard of this tennis club? Like, you should apply." And at first I was like, "I'm not qualified to coach." Like, what? But, like, no, like, I think that one of the good qualities I and not to, like, talk myself up or anything, but it's like, I think I am very, like, optimistic, like, when it came to, like, the team atmosphere, I did do a good job of, like, building up the energy, like, supporting everybody, like and, like, I mean, I've been playing tennis my whole life, I know the basics, I know some exercises, I know how to, like, teach people the basics, so, like, they ended up hiring me. I'm part-time, I do have another job that, I do part-time, and I work with people from all, like, ages and skill levels. I work from, like, red balls, which are, like, the little kids, like, I have a little prop here, actually, like, the red balls, to teach them the basics, but I also do, like, adult doubles clinics. I give, like, high schoolers private lessons and stuff. So, yeah, in some ways it is nice because 'cause I'm, like, on the court, but it's also a challenge because it's like, "Oh gosh, like, I wanna play."
Yeah, for sure.
And it's also it was, like, really hard switching up because you're just feeding the balls, just, like, gently, like, tapping them over, and at first it was really hard because I guess I was feeding it too hard and people were getting, like, really frustrated, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Dang.
Um,
Hayden, go.
So, like, how important do you think it is for, like, younger people going into high school, going into college to kinda unlock that mental aspect of tennis so they can achieve a better performance?
oof, that's a hard one because I struggle with the mental aspects and components of tennis. It's definitely really important. I think your mental game makes or breaks you. Novak Djokovic, he's like one of like also arguably one of the goats in tennis. I don't know if you've heard of him. He has a quote that it's like there's not that big of a difference between the number 1 and the number 100 of the world. Like we all have great shots. It's just mentally who can fight harder, like who can like make that extra shot, you know? So the mental component is definitely very important. And that's something I wish I had done better. It's like I think I put way too much pressure on myself that I crumbled at times. And it too, like the difference between a regular point and a match point, like, they're both a point, but it's like you do have to, like, hold your ground, you do have to play differently, like, if I had played the same way I had like, I got really nervous at my match point, but it's like, if I had played like I did it when it was love all, I probably would've, like, saved a lot of match points and won a lot of my matches easier. So, yeah, the mental game's really important, but I think you also have to be, like, patient and graceful with yourself because it's like if you are way too hard with yourself, you're also like I think you're gonna, like, be too hard on yourself when you do lose. It's like well, not the kids I necessarily work with, but there's, like, this one kid at the club I'm at, and he's really good. He has a really good, like, junior ranking, but even at practice, you see him lose a shot, and it's like, "Ugh, I suck." Like, "Ugh, this is terrible." Like, "Ugh, I'm gonna lose." Like, stuff like that, and I think as a tennis player, like, you are by yourself, and it's like those thoughts are naturally gonna come to you, like, you're gonna have a bad shot and you're gonna get in your head, but it's like, are you able to get out of your head? Because once you're I've noticed it, like, once you have one bad point, you'll have a streak. It's like you lose you, like, have a double fault, you'll miss your forehand, you'll do this, you'll do that, but it's like, can you snap out of it? Like, my coach would always tell me, like, "Val, you gotta be like a goldfish," like the Ted Lasso thing, like, you gotta move on, play the next point, you gotta forget what just happened, and that's the way you do it. If you hang on too much onto that, like, double fault, then it's like, you're not gonna do well in your next points.
I think that's the hardest part about tennis too, is that it is technically such an individual point. So anytime you mess up, it is kind of your fault.
Yeah,
And
you
the
can't
hardest
blame it
part
on someone. You blame it on the
right.
sun.
Yeah, yeah. So the hardest part is really just flushing your mistake and getting ready for the next, like, serve because
Like,
you have to lock back in. Like, yeah, it sucked that you lost the point, but you still plenty of game to go. So
right.
the hardest your worst enemy is yourself.
Right, and that is, like, one thing that tennis it's, like, kinda nice is that it's not like other stuff where it's, like, there's a time limit, like, we don't have quarters, it's, like, you go until you're done. It's, like, I could be losing a match right now, like, 0 to 5, but I can still turn it around, like, if I really want to, like, I can turn it around, and that happened to me one time at ITAs, like, I lost the first set, like, 0-6, but I was like, "Screw it," like, I don't wanna lose like this, and I ended up winning the match, like, 0-6, 6-4, 6-4 or
There
something.
we go.
Was it, like, a three-hour match, and was I dead and exhausted at the end? Yeah. It's like, I could have very easily just been like, "I lost the first set, I'm done for."
Yeah. And that is the nice part because in
Mhm.
football, it's almost impossible to come back from, like, a
No, right,
game where you're losing 42-0. Like,
right.
that's pretty much over. But,
It's like,
like,
"Oh, there's only 5 minutes left."
yeah, it's only 5 minutes left. I can throw 7 touchdowns, no problem. Like, no, that's you're just cooked. But in tennis,
Mhm.
it's super easy to come back
I
because you
wouldn't say
have
it's easy,
well, not
but it
easy, but
is
it's easier,
possible.
easier. It's easier. Yeah. So my last 2 questions before my brother hits you with the question we have on this
What?
show. How has playing college sports or has playing college sports taught you any lessons that you use in your daily life?
I'm struggling to come up with one, but it definitely has. No, I don't know, I think overall, like, even with team drama and conflicts and everything, and, like, even after crying after, like, a bunch of matches and, like, venting to my friends about stuff, it's still, like, a good experience, like, I don't regret going. There are moments where I'm like, "Oh, I could have gone to, like, a bigger school and, like, not played," but I'm like, I love playing, like, I think I would have hated, like, not having this opportunity, and as far as, like, lessons themselves, I don't know. Like, I guess okay, let's get deep. A metaphor. Tennis is an individual sport, but you have a team, right? I guess, like, if you really think about it, that's what life is. You're going through life as yourself. Like, it's you. You're going through whatever you're doing, but you do have support. Like, and sometimes I get too nervous to go and reach out and talk to my teammates about something. But, like, in the end of the day, whenever I did, I felt better. And it's like, I guess you can have that turn that into a life skill. It's like, I'm doing this by myself, but it's like, oh, I know I can rely on my family. I know I can talk to my friends. And even if we're looking at the matches, it's like, if you're down, you can always like turn it back around.
Yeah.
Did that make sense?
Yes,
I'm
yes,
like, I just
absolutely.
started talking. Like, I don't
No, that made a lot of sense because I mean, you're right. Like in life, you do have to do a lot of things by yourself. Like tennis, it's an individual sport, but you do have your support system. You have your
right.
friends, you have your family, and in tennis, you have your teammates, your coaches,
Mhm.
which is like kind of like your boss and your coworkers, right?
Right.
So yes, your
There you
analogy makes
go.
sense. I understood what you were going for, and I agree wholeheartedly. Finally, before my last question, what advice would you give fellow female athletes on protecting their mental health in college sports?
I think be patient with yourself. Think female athletes go through a lot more than male athletes. And I don't even mean it like in a cultural way, just even like biologically. Like girls get periods, guys don't. Like I was just talking to one of my relatives about this. It's just like our bodies go through more changes. It like mentally affects us a lot. Like we're not going to be playing our A game every single day. We can't be expected to do that every day. It's like be patient with yourself and that. And as far as like challenges of like comparing yourself to men's sport, like you're right, we're not gonna play like the men. You can't expect us to play like the men. Like you can't like tell me to go out on like a track and run as fast as Usain Bolt. Like I'm a 5'4" girl. That's not gonna happen. But I think just like I don't know, just, like, embrace the sport, like, kind of focus on what you can do, like, control what you can control, and good things will come. I
Yeah, for
repeat, did
sure.
that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I think the number one thing is just don't compare yourself.
Yeah, don't compare.
Everybody who's a female athlete is always gonna hear the comparison of like, "Oh, well, they're not as good as the men, or they don't do things as great as the men," but you can't let that get to you, like, you
Right,
just have to.
and not to say that women aren't great, like, we can do a lot of things men can't.
For sure.
Like, our sport, like, women's sport compared to men's sport is beautiful in its own way. You just have to learn how to appreciate it for
Yes.
those reasons.
Yeah, and they're different, and you just have to accept that and just give it your all for what you can do.
Right.
Once people can figure that out, I think, like, they'll be alright.
And as far
Okay.
as drama, just try and cut it out because girls do tend to have more drama on their team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That is one thing that I wish we were
But
more.
it's fun to listen to if you're the guy friend, it's so fun to listen to. I love tea sessions. Okay, Hayden, give it.
Okay, so this is the big question. So during your times playing tennis or even now, what's a song that gets you fired up?
Yep, this is the reaction we get all the time.
Okay, okay, okay. Songs make a huge difference, I will say. And it's hard in tennis because it's not like football or basketball where it's like, oh, quick break, here's the marching band. Or like, it's the
Yeah.
quiet sport. Like it's really silent and whatever. You just have to put in your headphones before the match and just lock in. And not gonna lie, there's some days where I'm having an awful match, like, I struggle I have a lot of issues with, like, focusing during a match, like, I'll be, like, super locked in, and I'm be like, "Great score, I'm doing well, I'm up in the match." Then I space out because I see a butterfly, and then, like, I start losing, and it's bad, but sometimes I'll just start playing a song in my head, and it'll, like, turn the whole thing around, and I end up, like, kicking butt again. But anyways, all that to say, it's definitely a Bad Bunny song. If I had a walk-up song, it would be "Chambea" by Bad Bunny, but it
Okay.
depends on the day. Every now and then, like, yeah, some days I'll be thinking of one song instead of others, but Bad Bunny's my boy. I love Benito.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw that coming.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause even at kickbacks over here, Bad Bunny was frequently playing, so I was like, "Okay, so which Bad Bunny song is it gonna be?"
You know which one too? It's not Bad Bunny. My god, I only know this because I live in Milwaukee and I'm a Brewers fan, but, like, the William Contreras walk-up song, it's, like, the Narcos song, the one with, like, the trumpet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about.
Yes.
So fire. I'm,
Yes.
like, not even, like, playing or, like, in a mental headspace for, like, sports, and I'll hear it and I'm like, and it's like something in me just clicks.
It's competition time.
It's competition time. It's go time.
Yeah. It's time to kick some butt.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a pretty good one, and you can't go wrong with Bad Bunny. He's got really upbeat songs that can help you lock in for pretty much any sport.
But yeah, and he's like, "Great, it's like, you want, like, vibey? I got you. You want beach music? I got you. You want a heavy trap song? I got you.
Bro is versatile
Booty
like that.
shaking music? Booty shaking music will get me in the right mindset for tennis. Is it healthy? I don't know, but it helps."
Doesn't have to be healthy as long as it locks you in, you know? That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, "Is it good that my party music is also my, like, sports music?"
Yes, it's perfectly acceptable. Okay, Hayden, do you have any more questions?
No, I'm all good. I'm all good.
Alright. Well, Val, it was a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for making time.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Of course. That'll do it for today, y'all. Make sure to stay tuned for future episodes to come. Thank you for watching, and peace.